With layoffs and salary cuts being at an all-time high due to the coronavirus pandemic, quite a few people have opened their eyes to some new employment opportunities. And since the plumbing and landscaping industry are both trades that appear to be on the rise in the era of COVID-19, it won't surprise you to hear that this is where many former employees find themselves. But which is the better trade when comparing the two industries, and is it the plumbing or the landscaping sector which has been shown to have a dominant future? Well, whether you're looking for a change in careers or just want to know more about the differences between the two paths, you've come to the right place, as we're about to explore whether plumbing or landscaping is the safest bet for a new hire. So strap yourselves in and get ready for an informative ride, as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Number 1. The overall earning potential. First up on our comparison list is the earning potential of the sectors in question, as this is usually the number one question you ask before committing to a new career. As someone new to the profession, you'll have to expect not to be paid as much as the guy who's been on the job for a few years, since trades positions rely pretty heavily on the experience of whoever is carrying out the job. That being said, you can't work for nothing. We all have bills to pay after all, which makes money one of the primary reasons behind someone picking one job over the other. But as we mentioned earlier, the salary cap of a tradesman depends on a number of different variables, and this rings true for both landscaping and plumbing. A number of these variables include, but are not limited to, experience on the job, specialization, as well as the area within that specific tradesman is working. But since we are mostly dealing with new hires, let's take a look at the comparison between general plumbers and landscapers, as this is more than likely where a tradesman is due to start his journey on the job. According to the FY18 Tradie Rich List, as published by Service Seeking, plumbers are by far the highest paid tradesmen when it comes to the rates charged by them. And although these specific statistics come directly from Australian sources, it must be said that a similar arc can be seen throughout the world. According to this index, plumbers are able to charge around $83.04 Australian dollars per hour, while landscapers can end up charging around $45. We also see a massive difference when it comes to the index of taxable incomes, which sees plumbers making almost double the amount that landscapers do. A very similar trajectory can be found in the United Kingdom, which often sees plumbers making around £5,000 more than their landscaper buddies. And this makes sense considering how much more professionalism and studying is necessary to make a name for yourself in the profession. Remember, before you can become a plumber who is able to complete jobs on his own, you'll have to finish an apprenticeship. Before this, you'll be left to the command of a more experienced plumber who is there to show you the ropes. Some might see this as restricting, while others might see it as an opportunity to gain a vital amount of experience. In other words, this is where the preference plays a huge role. Another impressive thing about the plumbing profession, especially when it comes to the job of general plumbers, is that these tradesmen are often able to complete a number of jobs per day, increasing the amount of income that they bring in. Landscapers, on the other hand, can end up spending an entire day on the job due to the laborious work that they have to complete. And while this may not make too much of a difference considering how both professionals are paid by the hour, it does give plumbers a leg up on the competition, often finishing the job within the hour and getting paid all the same for work done. Number 2. The nature of the job at hand. Next up on our list is the working environment that these tradespeople often have to deal with on a daily basis. Money is one thing, but happiness is another, and we suggest that you end up going for a profession that is set to be a comfortable one for you as a person. Only then can you really start enjoying what you're doing. When it comes to landscaping, for example, you can expect a pretty physical job ahead of you. Tasks often involve sculpting of gardens and layering of ground, which leaves a professional feeling pretty sore and exhausted at the end of the day. That being said, it also gives that person an opportunity to work out on a daily basis and stay healthy without having to go to the gym, which costs both time and money at the end of the day. You'll also find that landscapers are often covered in either soil or dirt, which is just another aspect of the job that has to be respected. Plumbers, on the other hand, don't often have to worry about dirt. The majority of the tasks that they have to take care of can often be found inside of the residence of clients, which allows them to stay a lot cleaner than their landscaping brothers and sisters. There is one exception to the rule though, which is when a plumber is called to fix the sewage of a particular home. In this instance, it goes without saying plumbers have got the real raw end of the deal, but one of those things that have to be done every once in a while. As such, plumbers often find themselves traveling with extra clothing just in case something goes rather wrong in the job. And where the landscaper often finds himself covered in dirt, plumbers are more often than not dripped on by water. In other words, the correct choice once more comes down to a preference of a person. If you don't want to be anywhere near sewage, the plumbing profession is not likely one that's in your blood. And if you fear dirt and earthworm attacks, you should stay far away from the landscaping industry. Number 3. The transferability of skills. When choosing a career, you also have to look at the future prospects of the profession, and that's where the plumbing industry really steps up its game. While both industries continue take you overseas to earn loads of cash, it must be said that plumbers often find themselves with far more professional skills than the landscapers beside them. You see, when it comes to plumbing, there is far more specialization than we find in landscaping. Plumbers can end up choosing between the subsets of general, commercial, and maintenance plumbing, which each comes with their own specialized skills that need to be learned. Commercial plumbers, for example, find themselves working alongside building managers and other professionals who deal with a more organizational set of skills. Take a closer look at these building managers, and you'll find that the majority of them were electricians and plumbers just a couple of years ago, which shows you just how transferable the skills of a professional plumber are at the end of the day. In other words, work hard as a plumber now so that you have the skills to order people to work on your behalf a few days later. The same transferability of skills can't really be seen in landscaping, at least not to the same degree overall. But landscaping does allow a professional to gain experience by working for friends, family, and referrals after hours. Not only does this earn the tradesman extra income on the side, it also allows him to build up a client list and reputation, which will come in handy when he decides to open up his own landscaping business somewhere down the line. That being said, a professional plumber can do exactly the same thing after the necessary licenses have been acquired. Number 4, the overall demand for the profession. Last but not least, it must be said that the plumbing sector also takes the cake when it comes to the overall demand for professionals of a high caliber. Remember, we have to become relatively dependent on flowing water to live our comfortable everyday lives. Without running water, we'd be unable to shower, cook, or even remove the waste from our households in an appropriate manner. And since washing your hands in this era of COVID-19 is so important, it goes without saying that running water has become an absolute necessity. Plumbers are the men and women that are able to fix any problems ranging from leaks to installations necessary to keep water running, and this explains why the profession has not faltered with the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. In other words, it looks like regardless of what is happening in the world, there will be a solid demand for plumbers due to the necessary nature of their work. And while landscapers can also be said to be necessary, a great deal of the work they do can be summed up as jobs that can wait or are aesthetically pleasing. As such, a poor economy is sure to see a decline in this profession at some point or another, as the nature of the work isn't as necessary as what we see in the plumbing industry. And remember, if you're already a plumber running your own business or just about to start and grow your own plumbing business, you must learn the 4 critical things plumbing business owners wish they had learned before starting a plumbing business so you don't make the same mistakes. Plumber Accelerator has put together a free training video which you can watch right now that will show you exactly how to start, grow, and build your plumbing business the right way so you can consistently guarantee profitable work, free up your time, all whilst reducing stress levels and allowing you to have a sustainable and more profitable business that works for you. In this free training video, you will also learn how to generate a steady stream of jobs on demand and with predictability month after month in your local area without relying on word-of-mouth referrals, how to stop competing on price with other plumbers and escape your competition, how to convert at least 90% of your quotes and estimates into sales, and how to command premium prices and attract high-quality customers that will be happy to pay more. Make sure to click the link in the description and let us know what you thought about our comparison between the industries in the comment section down below.